Hi, my name is Michaela Spryer and I'm a senior accounting major at Illinois State University. One of our club's major initiatives is to expand students' learning outside of the classroom, and I developed a book club a year and a half ago to achieve this goal. This past summer, our national president asked me to expand this to the national level. In the book club's first session, we will be reading How Remarkable Women Lead by Joanna, Barsh, and Susie Cranston. Joanna and Susie explore 5 essential leadership traits in this book for every successful woman. In these 5 webinars, we will explore each of these traits and have a great group discussion with other students here at Illinois State University. So today we will be discussing meaning. According to Joanna, the sense of meaning is what inspires women leaders, guides their careers, sustains their optimism, generates positive emotions, and enables them to lead in creative and profound ways. Throughout this section of the book, you will learn about the 3 main aspects of meaning: happiness, strengths, and purpose. Let's start with happiness. Take a moment to think of some recent experiences where you felt happy. What caused that feeling of happiness, and how can it be translated into a work environment?
I can start off with that one. So from some of my previous internships, I really enjoyed being able to take a project on from the beginning and be able to complete it all the way through it. I like to be able to problem solve and answer my own questions. Obviously going to other people for help when I need it, but I really liked that working through a problem myself.
Yeah, for me, I'm actually a tutor here on campus, and seeing a student's face light up when they finally understand an answer and look at you and actually grin, it for me brought happiness to me, because I sat there and to me they may be simpler type questions that they're asking because it's an intro accounting class, but to be able to sit there and explain it to someone, and for that to make sense to them and be able to apply it, not just memorize it, for me brought me great joy, just because you're helping younger students and you're going to grow your accounting body and student body by being an older leader that's someone who's helping someone who's younger.
And kind of going off both of these guys, I think it really, having an event or putting together something that can help students is something that I find pretty rewarding and brings me a lot of happiness. This past week we were able to have a bowling event for some transfer students, so being able to work out the logistics over the summer and be able to work with the different firms and pull it all together at the end and be able to get a lot of transfer students to come out and really gain a lot of experience and be able to meet professionals and network and all that kind of stuff, I think was really rewarding. And I think it kind of ties in with both of you guys, just being able to accomplish a project and helping people at the end of the day.
In addition to finding work that makes you happy, Joanna encourages individuals to build up their strengths rather than only focusing on improving their weaknesses. How have you first identified and then improved a natural competence?
Well, I would say for me, I have a tendency to the term being a people pleaser, but I think that does not have to have a negative context. You can be very cooperative, consensus building, working to make a positive environment for people, and then that form of people pleasing.
Yeah, I would say in my involvement on campus with my professional business fraternity, we spend a lot of time professionally developing the younger students, and I found that I really enjoy making them feel comfortable that they can come to me for questions, professional help, life help, in any situation. I found that's a natural ability that I have, and I really like to focus on that, and I think it helps me with my leadership as well.
Playing towards your strengths will lead you to be involved in activities that you're passionate about. It'll also make work not seem so much like work all the time. What kind of work comes easily to you? And in what kind of situations do you feel that time flies by, and when does it seem to drag?
I think in this situation, a lot of the times work goes by fastest when you're being challenged and have quite a heavy task where you're using skills that you don't necessarily use on a day-to-day basis. Especially when I think it applies for our internships. This past summer I had an internship and I had to do inventory. That's not something I've ever done before. So kind of being able to use different skills and really trying to problem solve was something I really had to do, and it made time go by so fast. And I feel like something, honestly, that would, make time drag would be not challenging yourself, if that makes sense. So whether that be you wouldn't have a task that you're really doing, you're just kind of staying put and not doing something that really makes you think.
Right. And building off of that, I think something I learned in the doctoral program, 5 years unstructured, having to manage your own time, is that you can structure your time the way I was taught, A, B, C time. And the time A is where you can get those tasks that are more complex done a little bit easier. And so then as you go into, B time, it's a little bit more challenging, and then C time is where you need to, time will drag if you're not doing something that is challenging you. And so you can structure what activities you need to get done or what kind of successes you need to make for a day within the time frames that best help you. And so that was one of the better things I learned to be successful.
The final piece of meaning is purpose. Joanna explains that purpose is what drives you. Some people find their purpose early on in their careers, while others will be well into their career before discovering it. How do you think women can discover their purpose and integrate that purpose into their careers?
I think something for me is finding something that you're passionate about, whether it's what type of accounting you want to go into or what even field that's outside of accounting you want to go into, but deciding something that you love to do and go do that every day, you're going to find your purpose within that. And it may not be the same every day. You might find one day your purpose is to help an older employee that works at the firm, and the next day it's helping a new intern. Your purpose can change throughout time, but finding out what you're actually passionate about doing will make you find your purpose easier, I guess, in my opinion, just because you know that you love doing this, you're going to put your heart and soul into it, and every day you're going to get something out of that.
And I think for some people, their purpose, their meaning is more apparent to them. And for other people, that might be a little bit delayed or something they have to search for. I know whenever I started my career when I was a student, I went on internships positive I was going into public accounting, and I was turned down from 2 different interviews saying, we really think that academia is more for you. You light up whenever you talk about your tutoring and your research. And so that meaning kind of came from soliciting outside opinions. And so if it's not clear to you exactly where you want to go, asking for that advice or seeking out that kind of advice can be helpful.
And I would have to add on to that to trust yourself, because when I first started my career, I started in teaching and then kind of deviated away from that for a number of years, but came back to teaching. So I think what you love, you'll eventually come back to. But there were a lot of years I didn't get to do what I love because I didn't really trust myself, when I made that beginning choice.
So to wrap this up, I want you to think about what you've learned about meaning as a whole. Why do you think it's important for people to have meaning throughout their careers?
I'll take that one. I think women in general are holistic in their view of the world and what they bring into the workplace, what they want to get out of the workplace. A lot of values toward impacting the future, impacting others, making the world a better place. So that's just my opinion.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us for this discussion. Hopefully this has added to your understanding of meaning as one of the 5 aspects of the Centered Leadership Program, and that you'll be able to join us for our next discussion on framing. Thank you.